In the heart of the quiet town of Gloomsville, a peculiar event had just occurred. Gloomsville, a quaint town tucked away from the chaos of the world, was a haven of peace and tranquility. Cobblestone streets, ivy-clad cottages, and the gentle murmur of the brook painted an image of idyllic serenity. But this tranquility was about to be disrupted. Enter our main character, Tor. A charming man with an adventurous spirit, Tor had just moved into an old cozy house at the edge of the town. Its charm lay not just in its antiquated architecture, but also in something peculiar that lay in its backyard, an old, sealed-off well. The well, moss-covered and shrouded in an aura of mystery, had piqued Tor's curiosity. It was as if the well was calling out to him, urging him to uncover its secrets. The locals, however, held a different view. They whispered tales of the well's ominous past, of strange occurrences and eerie cries that emanated from its depths. The well, they said, was best left alone. It held the town's darkest secrets, secrets that were better left buried. But Tor wasn't one to be swayed by the whispers of the townsfolk. The well intrigued him, its sealed-off entrance a challenge he couldn't resist. His curiosity was insatiable, the need to uncover the truth stronger than any warning. He brushed off the tales as mere superstitions, the product of an overactive imagination. After all, what harm could there be in an old forgotten well? The warnings, however, did little to quell his curiosity. If anything, they only served to stoke the flames of his desire to uncover the truth. The well was a puzzle waiting to be solved, and he was determined to be the one to solve it. Undeterred by the whispers of the townfolk, Tor decided to delve deeper into the mystery of the well. Little did he know, his decision would set off a chain of events that would shake the very foundations of peace and tranquility in Gloomsville. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Tor began his investigation. With the last remnants of daylight fading, he ventured towards the ancient well, its moss-covered stones whispering tales of forgotten times. The chilling wind seemed to echo through the hollow structure, carrying with it faint, almost imperceptible whispers. As he approached, the whispers became more distinct, as if the well was a conduit for voices long since silenced. They murmured in a language that was unrecognizable, yet somehow familiar. The words were drowned in a sea of echoes, but the tone, frantic and pleading, was clear as crystal. It was as if the well was alive, breathing out the secrets it had swallowed over the centuries. A sense of dread began to creep up Tor's spine, each whisper a needle of ice piercing his courage. Yet he remained steadfast. His heart pounded in his chest like a drummer declaring war. But his curiosity, that innate human fascination with the unknown, kept him rooted to the spot. His ears strained to decipher the whispers. They swirled around him, creating a symphony of unease that seemed to resonate with the very core of his being. Each whisper was a puzzle, a piece of a jigsaw that was as terrifying as it was intriguing. The whispers grew louder, more insistent. They clawed at his sanity, gnawing at the edges of his resolve. The well seemed to be a mouth gaping wide in a silent scream, its whispers the echoes of 1,000 lost souls. Despite the rising tide of fear, Tor found himself being pulled towards the well, drawn in by the haunting whispers that echoed from its depths. His mind screamed for him to run, to escape the insidious voices that seemed to be wrapping themselves around his consciousness. But he was a moth to a flame, his curiosity overpowering his fear. The whispers, however, were just the beginning. The whispers subsided, replaced by an unnatural silence that blanketed the area. Tor's heart pounded in his chest like a drum echoing in the cavernous well. The shadows around him began to twist and turn, dancing across the stone walls. It was as if the darkness itself was alive, moving of its own accord, shaping itself into grotesque figures that seemed to leer at him from the corners of his eyes. He could almost hear the hiss of their laughter, the whisper of their taunts. These were not ordinary shadows. They held a sinister quality, a malevolent energy that prickled the hairs on the back of his neck. Each one was distinct, unique, yet they moved together, an orchestra of darkness playing a symphony of fear. They twisted and contorted, stretching into chilling, monstrous forms that seemed to reach out for him, their shadowy fingers brushing against his skin, cold as ice. Tor felt a shiver run down his spine. The air was thick with a chilling presence, an unseen force that seemed to seep into his very bones. It was a feeling of dread, of impending doom that gnawed at his courage, threatening to consume him whole. Yet he couldn't let it. He couldn't afford to. Despite the fear that gripped him, Tor pressed on. He willed his trembling legs to move, his mind to stay focused. He was far too deep into the well to turn back now. The shadows continued their macabre dance, their grotesque forms shifting and changing, ever watchful, ever present. But Tor refused to be swayed by their eerie display. His determination fueled his every step. He would not be cowed by the sinister shadows. He would not let them break him. He had come too far, braved too many trials to give in now. He had to discover the truth, no matter how horrifying it might be, no matter what lurked in the darkness. Tor was now trapped in the well's terrifying grip. But he would not let it be his end. He would face the shadows and whatever horrors they hid. He would conquer his fear. He would survive. Tor's heart pounded in his chest as he dared to descend further. The chill of the well's damp stone walls seeped into his bones, and the echo of his own breath seemed to fill the silent dark. As he reached the bottom, his trembling fingers brushed against an unexpected object. It was an artifact, ancient and intricate, its surface inscribed with cryptic symbols that seemed to dance in the dim light of his torch. The artifact was unlike anything Tor had ever seen. The symbols, eerily unfamiliar, seemed to whisper secrets of long-forgotten times. With a shiver of dread, Tor realized he held not just an artifact, but a relic of powerful dark magic. This was no ordinary well. It was a prison, a containment for the artifact's malevolent force. The whispers he'd heard, the shadows he'd seen, they were not figments of his imagination, but manifestations of the artifact's dark power. The horrifying truth dawned upon him. The well was not meant to be disturbed. It was sealed for a reason, to keep the world safe from the artifact's curse. But now the seal was broken, the artifact was free, and Tor was the unwilling liberator. The realization was like a slap in the face. He felt his breath hitch in fear as the weight of his discovery sunk in. The well's curse was no longer confined to its stone walls. It was free to wreak havoc, free to spread fear. And it was all because of him. His mind raced, his pulse quickened. He had to fix this. He had to contain the curse once again. But how? Could he reseal the well? Could he destroy the artifact? The questions swirled in his mind, each more terrifying than the last. His gaze fell back on the artifact, its cryptic symbols seeming to pulse with an ominous light. Tor knew he had to act fast if he wanted to escape the well's curse. And with a newfound determination, he clutched the artifact tighter, ready to face the challenge that lay ahead. With the artifact in his hands, Tor made a desperate dash for the surface. A chilling wind, redolent with the scent of forgotten tombs, whipped around him as he began the perilous climb. His fingers, calloused and raw from the relentless struggle, clung to the moss-covered stones of the well. Each ragged breath echoed in the narrow confines, a stark reminder of the daunting ascent that lay ahead. The shadows, once dormant in the well's inky depths, stirred with a newfound vigor. They swirled and coiled like serpents, their formless bodies seeping into every crack and pursuing Tor with an insatiable hunger. Their whispers, once faint and distant, grew louder and more insistent, their words a cacophonous symphony of malice and dread. But Tor was undeterred. His heart pounded like a war drum in his chest, syncing with the rhythm of his desperate climb. Each heave of his body, each scramble for a foothold, was a testament to his resolve. He was a man caught between the jaws of a nightmare, yet he would not yield to the darkness. As he neared the surface, the whispers grew faint, the shadows receded, their ephemeral forms recoiling from the touch of the mortal world. With a final surge of adrenaline, Tor hurled himself onto solid ground, the artifact clutched in his trembling hands. Without a moment's hesitation, he moved to seal the well, his fingers tracing the ancient symbols etched into the artifact. A blinding light erupted from the well, the shadows screaming in defiance as they were banished back to their eternal prison. The whispers were silenced, the well once again a dormant relic of a time best forgotten. As the first rays of dawn broke through the darkness, knew he had survived the horror of the well. His breaths, once ragged and desperate, were now steady and calm. He stood there, a solitary figure against the backdrop, a new day. A testament to the indomitable spirit of mankind in the face of unspeakable horrors. In the closing scene, Tor sat down exhausted but triumphant, the artifact now lying dormant at his side. The adrenaline slowly dissipated, replaced by a profound sense of reflection. The ordeal had been harsh, a dance with the unspeakable darkness, but he had emerged victorious. Yet the victory felt hollow, the cost of meddling with the unknown all too evident. He picked up the artifact, its once foreboding aura now subdued. He made a solemn vow to himself then, his voice echoing in the silence of the dawn. "Never again," he whispered. "I will not step on the path of the unknown again." A sense of relief washed over him as he made the vow, as if he had finally escaped the shadows that had been looming over him. His eyes, once filled with terror, now held a newfound resolve, steeling himself for a future devoid of the horrors he had braved. As Tor emerged from the well, the morning sun greeted him with a warm embrace. The golden rays washed over him, a stark contrast to the chilling darkness of the well. A sense of relief washed over him, a tangible affirmation of his survival. Tor, exhausted but victorious, took a moment to appreciate his survival. His gaze fell on the artifact, its once menacing aura now dormant. Picking it up, he traced the ancient symbols etched into its surface. Each symbol was a testament to his harrowing journey, a stark reminder of the darkness that lurked beneath the surface. He reflected on his experience, the whispers that had echoed in the well, the shadows that had pursued him with relentless hunger. He had stared into the abyss and emerged victorious, but the victory came at a cost. The ordeal had taught him a valuable lesson about the unknown. The well, once a symbol of intrigue and mystery, had revealed its true nature. It was a gateway to a world best left untouched, a realm where mankind was not meant to tread. The whispers, the shadows, they were the custodians of this realm, their existence a stark reminder of the dangers of meddling with the unknown. Emboldened by his newfound wisdom, Tor made a solemn vow. "I will respect the unknown, honor its boundaries," he whispered. "The well, it's not a mystery to be solved, but a warning to be heeded." With these words, he sealed his vow, the weight of his words echoing in the silence of the dawn. In the days that followed, Tor warned the townsfolk about the well's curse. He shared his tale, each word a testament to his harrowing ordeal. The townsfolk listened, their eyes wide with fear and awe. They hailed him as a hero, a man who had faced the well's terror and emerged victorious. With a newfound respect for the unknown, Tor lived out his days in Gloomsville, forever remembered as the hero who faced the well's terror. His tale served as a stark reminder of the dangers of meddling with the unknown, a lesson etched into the hearts of the townsfolk. As the sun set on Gloomsville, the whispers of the well were silenced, their sinister symphony replaced by the harmony of respect and understanding.